Okay, and there we are. Let me tell the Discord crew we are online. Good, they know. And audio's working. And let's get the music going. Here we go. There we go. Oh, we have Pluzzing. Nice to see you, Pluzzing. And Memberdraw joined us a little bit earlier. It's going to be another chill stream. Today's thumbnail, I'll show you, is this. Holiday Drawing Tablet Q&A. In case anyone has questions about buying a tablet, which I hope maybe someone does. But also, you may notice the frog here is celebrating. They both the Santa frog and this frog have tablets in their hands. But why is there a celebrating frog? That's because December 3rd marks the 1 year anniversary where I started live streaming. So that is a celebration for me. And I counted, I think it's 9, before today, in the past year, I've live streamed 91 or 92 times. So that's a lot. Now, sometimes I live stream twice in the same day, like I had a morning and evening session. Martin/Nizio, nice to see you. So I didn't anticipate I'd be streaming so much, which is interesting. And I was so nervous that first stream, wow. So nervous, you can't even imagine. I didn't want to do it, meaning I had a lot of hesitation. Sorry, I got my eyes. I had a lot of hesitation. I had a lot of nervousness. Not about being in front of a camera. I'm very used to being in front of a camera and talking to an audience. It was more about just as a very different way of interacting with an audience, which I wasn't used to. And it's an audience that is worldwide. I mean, worldwide. I know we have a small channel, but at work, it's the work audience. At work, it's, Microsoft employees. So that's, you know what you're getting there, and you know the extent to which people will ever see you. But here, it could be anybody. And, on the internet, everything lives forever, right? So there was that kind of nervousness, and, I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad I did it. Not only do I feel even more natural in front of a camera, and more sort of, what's the right word? Less fidgety in front of the camera. And just some of my behaviors and the way I talk have gotten better for, as a public speaker, I would say. And dealing with the mechanics of doing a live stream, like talking to a teleprompter, just setting up the system, meaning the machines, and how do I do demos, and how do I do overheads, and how do I set up the audio. These have all been learnings, and if you've been watching the stream over the past year, I hope you've noticed things have gotten better. Again, at multiple levels, both in how I interact and how the audience interacts with me, and how I would say just it feels more natural to do. So I'm really happy for that. One of the things that took me a while to really learn is how to begin the stream and how to end the stream. Because I was never sure how to end it, Like, how do you say, and I think when I started, I would hang on for 15 minutes, say, okay, I'm ending in a few minutes, I'm ending. And now I'm like, okay, I've got everything done I need to say. I'm going to be leaving now. So that's been interesting. I didn't expect I'd be streaming for many hours. I thought I'd be streaming for an hour or two at most. And some of my streams have gone over 6 hours. Can you believe it? We don't have a huge audience, but the point is that it has been really nice to chat to people. So thank you all for joining us. No, I don't know if everyone knows it, but I did post a video on YouTube, which is, I'm going to put the link in chat. Give me a second as I find the live stream and get the chat over here. Well, actually, I can just do it like this. Yeah. There we go. So I just put a link in the chat to a video. It's only 4 or 5 minutes, but basically it's a small tour. Oops, that's the wrong one. That's this stream. My mistake. Give me a second. There we go. Let me paste it. This is the correct link. There we go. Second link is the correct one. That is to a short 4-minute, 30-second video where I give a brief tour of my pen collection. Because I did earlier in the year a tour of my tablet collection, so now we'll talk about pens. Okay, now that I've said all that, let us get a little bit of show notes going so I can organize my thoughts and figure out if there's any specific topics that we want to talk about or that I need to make sure you know. Let's see, where is OneNote? There are a few things of interest. Let's see, show notes. And let's go and add a new note for today. What is it? 1203, which is another sort of chill. What was this one called? This is called Holiday Shopping Q&A. Shopping Q&A and 1 year streaming anniversary. So I've been on YouTube longer, but this is the 1 year anniversary of me streaming. Okay, so let me put that link to that video itself in my show notes. There are some other things that have come up. Let's see, there was a post on Reddit about the Canvas 13 Gen 3 dials, which I think we should watch and talk about together. Give me a second, let me get the links there. Okay. Oh wow, I'm having trouble getting the link, which is funny. There we go. Canvas 13. Let's put that in the show notes. Nick Tyler, thanks for joining us. Most important, not to make Twitch mistakes. Suddenly stand up after 6 hours streaming without pants. Is that a thing that happens? That would be bad. I assure you, I'm always wearing pants. Let's see, what else? I'm just looking at the topics I want to get. Well, Nick, there's a few little things, discoveries today on the Reddits that I want to discuss. I wanted to do a demo of some tooling I built as well. We're going to also work on maybe doing a little bit of vibe coding of some of those tools. I still think we may want to refresh the tier list. That I'm going to put that as a topic. So I think we do want to revisit the tier list. So I got some questions about it, which is like, so revisit. Let me write this down. Revisit and like question on why some are unsorted. I don't think well, we'll see. Let's see, I want to show my drawing tablet database tool. I've got to show that. I'm totally vibe coding a lot these days. Okay, let's see what else we got in the agenda for today. Yeah, there was an interesting question that came up on Reddit about a problem that probably I'd like to just get any feedback, if there is any feedback on it. So it is a problem about, I don't even know the right terminology. It's about pen display always showing a message. What are your thoughts on all the Huion quality issues going on in the help forum? All brands of quality issues, what's giving you cold feet? Martin, can you point me to a specific thread, especially one that's large? I'll look at the Reddit. It's an excellent topic. Sometimes I miss the threads, right? Let's see. Yeah, if you can provide more context. Links would help, as well as if you can just tell me what the topics were. I hate seeing people struggle at this time of year. It's on the Discord. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's see. You put it in the in general. In the help form. Okay, let's take a look. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. There was one on where the heck is my help? Where's the help form? There was a Canvas 12 problem. Yeah, I think this is what happens. You know, people buy some of these older tablets, and sometimes that can be a problem. So there was a thread today about the Canvas 12, and then is that the one you're talking about? I don't think so, because that one got solved. There was one on the Canvas Pro 19. But you mentioned the Canvas Pro 27, and I'm trying to see a thread that mentions it. Canvas 16. Getting shocked. I vaguely remember this. I have never heard anyone getting shocked by the Canvas Pro 19. I mean, let me back up. Through the years on the subreddits, I have heard, I don't know, there'll be like one or two people a year that say, hey, they felt like an electric shock. Or not shock like they were like, ow, but like they felt something weird when they're touching their tablet. I don't know much about electricity. So it's a little bit of mystery how to explain these topics, right? But it's certainly something I would classify as a defect, right? Seeing all these issues makes me not want to get the Canvas Pro 27. Well, I understand that. And the other thing that's about the other thing to keep in mind about the Canvas Pro 27 is it's just the nature of its size. Fewer people get larger tablets. So you're not dealing with a great sample size. And that has pros and cons in terms of what you observe. So for example, let's pick a tablet that gets bought a lot, the Canvas 13 Gen 3. So lots of people buy that tablet because it's not very expensive compared to the other tablets. It works for people who, it's a good gift for kids and younger people starting out. So people get these 13-inch tablets. And what the result of that is, even if they have a very good reliability, if 1 out of 100 people has a problem, since everyone, like 90% of people are getting that tablet, you'll see a whole bunch of people complain about the Canvas 13 Gen 3. And that can give you a distorted feeling of what's going on, even though it might be a highly reliable tablet. On the other end, we have a thing like the Canvas Pro 27, which very few people have. I don't have it. I don't plan on getting it. And it is hard to tell. When it first came out, people seemed to have a pretty positive view of it. But you're right. Lately, I have been seeing people complain about it. Someone said that it looked blurry and fuzzy. And I thought, well, the Canvas Pro 19 has a little bit of softness. But someone was saying it was true for the Canvas Pro 27, which I've never heard about. In fact, that was one of the big things that we discussed with people when it first launched, is that it seemed like it was sharp, and it was the 19 that has a little bit of softness. So I understand that. I totally understand that. Yeah, there's not many. There's not many of the Canvas Pro 27. Let's see, Pluzzing. About old tablet, I sometimes watch a video and see a comment about a person recommend someone to buy an old tablet because they have a good experience and cheap, I guess. Yeah, the challenge with old tablet is drivers and getting pens, right? We had a stream where I talked about used tablets and implicitly older tablets, and they can be awesome deals, right? They really can be. But they're not always. I would have a hard time recommending an older tablet to my mom because, I mean, let's suppose I wasn't around to help her with a tablet or something. The second Wacom driver is no longer supported, she's going to be confused, right? That's the main reason why I considered to get the old Artist Pro or the V2. V2 might be a decent answer. I mean, it does have a better pen, and I wish it was a little cheaper, right? Yuruka Skuru, yeah, the XP Pen 19 is not as blurry as the Artist Pro 19. Let me show you that. Let me show you that. Give me a moment to look it up, okay? Let's get to my page here. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the Artist Pro 19. I think I have a screenshot explaining this. Let's scroll down here. You should be able to see it. Okay. So it is always hard to photograph these things, okay? It is always very hard to photograph. But I think this image captures the reality, okay? So can I zoom? No, okay, that's good enough. On the left, Artist Pro 19, the XP Pen Artist Pro 19. On the right, Huion Canvas Pro 19. What do you notice? Forget anti-glare sparkle, all that, right? What do you notice? I'm not going to say anything. I would like the audience to tell me what they think they notice. Again, disregard anti-glare sparkle. This is about sharpness. Which one do you think has a sharper image? Now just focus on sharpness, Pleasant. Just focus on sharpness. Martin says, in some ways, getting a second-hand tablet is better because at least you know they tried it and just didn't like it instead of gambling with something. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like, I totally get it. I totally get why you do that. Yuruka Screw says the edges on the text is not as clear as the left. That's right. That's right. And I think this picture, again, it can be very hard to photograph things consistently, but this picture captures what my eyes see. Right? Yeah, exactly, Martin. It's not blurry, not pixelated, it's just softer. It's like someone did a very light, it's like someone actually added another layer of Gaussian blur and put that on top of it. Just a very light layer. Some people, and so when you look at these side by side, and I think the picture captures this, you'll immediately know the Artist Pro 19 is sharper. Immediately. Mir, nice to see you. They sent the link in. I will try it in the stream. So let me put that in my notes, Mir. I will try it in the stream. Stylus X 1.2. It's not they have the same PPI, Yuruka Screw. They have the same exact PPI. Because they're both 4K displays that are 19 inches. So they have the same, or almost the same PPI. I hate to say the word blurry because it conjures up some bad words. I like to say soft because I think it's more accurate description. Like people would understand it. You can see, for example, I don't know what the right word would be, either halation or bloom. If you look at the text, which is the text is supposed to be black, okay, in both cases. And if you look at the white or the gray around the text bleeds in a little bit. You see that? So the text on the right looks actually a little lighter than one on the left because there's that bloom almost effect, right? Or halation. Eureka screw, I do not think it's a lamination, okay? Because the lamination, which means how they took, that's how the glass is bonded to the display panel with some optically clear adhesive, OCA. And that makes it one sheet, basically. So it's not that, because that is supposed to be optically clear adhesive, okay? I have another piece of evidence I'll tell you about why I say it's not the lamination. I think this is all the anti-glare treatment, okay? You know, in other words, it's the etched glass. And the different styles of etching glass, which there must be, and the amount that can be etched, and the processing, or so the process of doing it, yields slightly different results. Huion, their older pen displays tended to have more anti-glare sparkle for higher resolution. And XP Pen is always actually, they've always been pretty good about anti-glare sparkle, okay? I have a computer class in an hour. It turns out these windows, no thanks, I'll be Linux user. By the way, Mir, I tried to install CachyOS, but I was having problems because I can't get my mini PC to boot from the USB flash drive. So I got to solve that, but I am trying my hardest to get CachyOS installed. So yeah, I think it's the anti-glare treatment. Now the other piece of evidence that says it's not the lamination is the following. So remember, etched glass is rough. Like it's an irregular surface. And this doesn't work with all screen protectors, but someone put a piece of tape, and this is a common trick for kind of frosted glass. You put it on the etched side, and the tape sort of fills in the gaps optically, and it can remove the frosted effect. So someone did that. There's actually a picture they have in the Discord somewhere, I think, where they did that to a Canvas Pro 19, and they said it was much sharper. So what that tells me is if someone can make it sharp, it's not the lamination, right? It must be the etched glass, because the lamination is unaffected in both cases. Yeah, do not call the Canvas Pro 19 blurry. Cami Luna will come after us. Yeah, BHP, I don't think it's a cheaper laminate, just because of the reason I said, because someone added that tape and made it. Now, I have tried adding something like that, a screen protector, to do that to another device, but it didn't help. So I can't promise all things like that would help, but it's something to experiment with. Can you find the softness in the 24-inch Gen 3? It's supposed to come in a week or so I will check then. Galbus, ignore the color difference. That is just... first of all, it could be the displays, honestly. I see it too, but it's hard to tell because remember, the camera is it's doing things, right? So it's hard to say with confidence that this is what I remember my eyes seeing in terms of color. In terms of sharpness, this is accurate. It's very accurate in terms of sharpness. Let's see, Nick says, I would love to compare screenshots of KP19 and XP Pen 4K. I've heard many complaints. Yeah, maybe next time I'll do some photos, because of course screenshots won't capture the blurriness, but photos will, because the shots are from memory, right? Make sure you have disabled secure boot in the BIOS. Okay, I will try that, Mir. Because it's just not picking up that USB flash drive, and I know it's correct, right? By the way, this is a machine that I previously installed Mint on, so it's capable of booting from the flash drive. So why it can't now is a bit of a mystery. So I'm going to keep on exploring. Okay, so let's get back here. Let's see. Okay, I want to show you this tool I built. Yes, photos. Thank you, Nick. It's sometimes, it's you probably know what I'm talking about. When you're helping people, it's hard to explain to them why some problems only show up in screenshots and some only in photos. You have to tell them which way. How about tilt recognition? Tilt was excellent on the Canvas Pro 19, right? Rufus. Okay, I'll try that. I think I was using some weird program. Maybe I'll have to remember. It wasn't Rufus, but I have it somewhere. I'll try it. So, German Fernandez. Yeah, I'll test. With the Canvas Pro 19 good tilt recognition, I'll test it on the Canvas 24 Gen 3. Etch. Oh, that's the one. I'll try that as well. I do have that installed. Something Etcher. I forgot what the name. It starts with a C. Etcher. Okay. I want to show you a little thing. So, this is. Okay, it's not done, and you'll get the idea. Okay, you'll get the idea. So give me a second. I want to surprise you with it. So let me navigate to my. Okay, so I have an Excel file that I use to keep track of tablets, like when they were launched, the specs, because sometimes I just want to look it up in 100 places. It makes it useful for me to do things like comparisons and like statistically analyzing things. So it's an Excel file, and it's hard to enter new records there, and it doesn't do a bunch of checking, and then it gets messy because there's lots of columns. So I actually implemented, using Google AI Studio, a kind of a management app to help me view, sort, and deal with these records. Balena, that's it. I forgot that. Oh, it wasn't a C. Balena, okay. Maybe that was the reason, because I used Rufus. I think Rufus is what I tried. No, yeah, it is. Rufus is what I tried. It's Balena I didn't use. Okay. So, I built something to help me manage it. Okay, so let me show you what I built. Now this isn't necessarily the most exciting thing in the world, but it has some sample data here for 15 tablets, but I have like 200 in my actual Excel file. And so I can do things like see the tablets, right? And do things like, show all brands or just Wacom or XP Pen. I'll do all brands. Or by types of tablet, meaning pen displays, pen tablets. This is just a sample data set, right? Or sort by brand, sort by year, etc. And then if I click on the details, these are all the rows I have, right? All the specs and information. So the basic status about the tablet, when it was released, the product page, which I can go to if I want to, right? And specs about the digitizer, and things like the digitizer diagonal, which is the normally how we talk about the size of a tablet. It shows it in millimeters, but it also shows it 16.72 inches, right? Number of pressure levels, accuracy in corner and edges, and center, resolution, pixel density, which is a calculated field, and this is read only, but if I click this edit thing, the fields that are not calculated are editable. So this is going to make it easier for me to keep my list up to date. The next feature I want to add are like the ability to find 2 or more tablets and do a diff, saying provide a table which diffs so you see the differences in the specs. Now, of course, these are just the specs. Like if the manufacturer says things, they're not saying that I measured them. So if it says like the pen has 8,000 pressure levels, that's what I put down, right? Perhaps during some streams, BHP says, you could address some of the posts in the help forum. That's a good idea. Maybe we'll do that today. I like the idea. Look at a help forum. And in fact, one of them I do want to talk about. That was actually on the agenda already. So I am going to work on this tool some more, and I will publish it so anyone can use, right? it is a React app, so you'll have to know how to use Node and NPM to like install the packages and run it. Though I will look for a way to like keep this app as a standalone executable so anyone can use it. And the data right now is the 200 tablets are in an Excel file. I'm going to find a way to, actually it is already this way, it's a JSON file. So you can see the file, and this just lets you view it and edit it in a really nice way. So that's my database tool. And I'm gonna show you another tool I built. I think some of you saw this. I just want to make sure you do see it. Let's see, my apps. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, this is my my parallax explainer tool. It's not the one I wanted to show you, but I'm going to use this in an upcoming video, okay, to explain how parallax works and how the thickness of the glass, which is what this is. Oh, sorry, not that. Let me move this back here. How the thickness of the glass affects the parallax, right? And then, what's the other tool I wanted to show you? Where is it? Did I delete it? I must have deleted it. There was one where you can take a tablet and give it the dimensions. It'll compare it to like standard paper sizes and standard tablet sizes. I think I wasn't happy with where it went, so I'll recreate it. But yeah, I have a bunch of tools lined up which would help people, right? And I think for those people who are researching tablets or want information about the history of them, the Drawing Tablet Database tool is going to help you out, right? Because then you can find out specific questions, like given a pen, which tablets are compatible with it, or which tablets shipped with which pen, which tablets are close in size to a specific tablet, right? Which tablets are too old, more than 5 years old, etc., etc. Okay, so I really like the suggestion from BHP to take a look at the help forum. So I'm going to do exactly that. So this was Lucien, who is a father, and for his daughter's 12th birthday, he got her, I think it was a Canvas Pro 12, and this message would not come off his screen. I think we've all seen this message, okay? And it disappears after a second or two, but for him, it was just staying on all the time. And this isn't the OSD, I don't know what to call it. It's just a message from the display. And he was confused about why it's on. So the solution there, as it turned out, was bring up the OSD by holding one of the buttons, not the power button, one of the tablet buttons for 3 seconds, and then doing that again to close the OSD, and then that thing went away. So that was, and here's the OSD, what the actual OSD looks like. That was one thing that took us a while to resolve, but at least he found a solution, and now his daughter can use the tablet. And I made a document, actually, on my document site to cover this topic because, you know, I hate having to re-explain everything, so I can just send a link to that document. Let's see, Artist 22 Plus. Oh, this person had an issue, which is there was like a vertical region where he would be drawing and it just wouldn't draw in that region. Sometimes he could go across, but sometimes it wouldn't. And here's another example. The line just broke in that region. It didn't look like he had anything magnetic in the way. And it is weird that one of the lines went through here and worked correctly. And sometimes it manifested like this, where he drew these lines and that region just gets really messed up. And at first I thought this was a magnetic issue, but I think he contacted Huion. Was it Huion? No, XP Pen. This was the Artist 22 Plus, which is a decent tablet. And I think he's returning it, so that's good. There was this problem, which I have to recall. The Canvas Pro 19 shuts down when powered off. This kind of went on for a while. Let me see if I can recall So you can't see everything. Sorry. Make it a bit easier to read. I got the Canvas Pro 19 in November. No performance issues until November 22nd. It started cutting itself from power while it was powered off. This means I couldn't turn it on again using the power button. So let me see where we landed. So I think the issue is that this person got it from Taobao. So I think there's a warranty problem. This is the guy that got shocked? Okay. It happens every now and then, people get shocked. I mean, it doesn't randomly happen. I mean, specific tablets have that kind of electrical problem. I don't know anything about electricity, so I can't say the nature of the problem. But I would imagine it is dangerous, or at least risky. But yeah, I suspect whenever you see a problem like that, you got to just return it. You got to contact support because they absolutely shouldn't do that. Yeah, I wish I knew more about how to answer in this case, Martin, but it's just not my background. Let's see, limit tablet to one display monitor. Oh, this is, I think I helped this person. This person just wanted to make sure that, let's see, so the longest time I've been used to unplugging my second monitor when I draw, but I can't seem to find how to limit my tablet. Oh, I get it. He has a monitor and his tablet. Oh, sorry, he has two screens, one tablet, a pen tablet. And it's just, the pointer goes across both. So I wrote a troubleshooting guide for this. And it's pretty simple. You just have to change the active area mapping, okay? The only thing I might want to add to this is consider display toggle if you want to be able to switch between the monitors. Let's see. Cintiq 24 versus Canvas Pro 24 Gen 3. Yeah, I think, what did I say? The pens are very good, but the Wacom Pro Pen 3 is still better. I'll get the Canvas Pro 24 Gen 3 very soon, and then we can talk about it. But I still think that the Cintiq 24, not the Pro, is very good. I think it's a very good tablet. One of the best values in the market. Tio's here. Hey, Tio, thanks for joining us. Finally finished testing the XP Pen Artist 12 Gen 3. Great pen performance. Excellent to hear. I haven't measured it yet, but I felt that way based upon using it. Can't wait for the larger XP Pen model to see with the same pen. Yeah, I am looking forward to it. In fact, let me see if are they selling that pen? Let's see. Let's check their store, because I want to buy a few extra. One thing I noticed is you can't use the X4 pen with the older tablets, which is sad. At least the ones I tried. Let's see, United States. Okay, I selected that. Now let's search. Is it available? Oops, I typed in X3. It's X3 Elite. I want X4. They don't have for sale yet. But yeah, I too, Tio, I'm hoping to see it in more tablets. Same with the PW600 pen by Huion, by the way. Mir Sky says, nothing beats Wacom Cintiq Pro 24. It has huge bezels. I love it, but the fan noise is a deal breaker. I have to be honest with you. I was looking through eBay and considering getting that exact model, the Wacom Cintiq Pro 24. And I might still do it. And the only reason I want it is because it has a classic look, number one. And number two, I still get a lot of questions about it. And I've never used it. So I might still get it. Yeah, in my testing so far, they're not. The X4 pen cannot be used with older tablets, but the new Artist 12 3rd Gen can use the older X3 pens in my testing. Do you think we are at the prime when it comes to drawing tablets? I think we're in a very good place. I think if you're a little educated on a few things, and you buy, you can't go wrong. Like if you know to buy a modern tablet, you can't go wrong. In a few years, you won't need to know that. In a few years will be our real prime, where basically anything released in the last 3 to 4 to 5 years will be excellence. And so that's the prime, right? And then we're gonna see how this shakes out in the market. When everything's near the quality of Wacom in terms of performance, what are they gonna do, right? And how will companies innovate? I've always said I wanted them to do sort of other things, like something like a tour box or something, because I love my tour box, right? I have 6 of them. I have 6 tour boxes, and I had photographic evidence showing that to people. Yeah, so I think we're about to be there, Mir. In 5 years, definitely, maybe even in 3. BHP, Wacom could offer slim or thick bezel options. I don't think they're ever going to offer bezel options, honestly. And they could. The reason I don't think they're going to do that is it complicates their product line. I think it complicates. Also, how can I say this? I'm trying to figure out the right words to say for this one. I like to see it when people make decisions and stick to the decisions for a while. They went with smaller bezels. And for them to say we're going to offer big bezel mode, models with bigger bezels and then smaller bezels, it's like they can't decide. Wishy-washy. Nick says, Mir, there are reports on people switching off fans from PCB. Oh, you mean like making a hardware change? I will not risk to open my working one, but they say it doesn't burn without fans, as his mod makes it silent. Hope to be alive for the next 5 years. Love to see Wacom Cintiq 19 Pro Max. Yeah, I think that would be interesting if they went 19. Or 22 in my case. I wish, because 19 to me feels like a 16-inch tablet. For me, it's got to be about 22 inches to feel large. Noticeably larger than 16. Okay, let's get... Yeah, I want to show... Yeah, there's something that came up in the Reddit I wanted to show people. So I'm going to open up Reddit. Oops, that's not exactly what I wanted to show. 1 second. It's this guy. Okay, yeah. So this is important for Canvas 13 Gen 3 and 16 Gen 3. So this guy says, I have fixed the dials on the Canvas 13 Gen 3, okay? And the video isn't showing him fixing it. I'm just gonna play the video. The video is him just using the dial, okay? Now, I don't know if his problem that he fixed happens to everybody, like it's the same problem, but he's spinning the dial and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, okay? And it took me a while to understand what he was saying because he doesn't show it being fixed, right? And he shows a picture of the dials, which are, this is the internal component of the dials, okay? And I couldn't figure out what he was saying to fix. But there was another video. First of all, I'm gonna send this video in the chat, okay? That's one. Oh, sorry, the link. And then he sends another video, which is this YouTube video. Let's copy and paste that in the chat as well. Now, the reason I'm spending time on this is that this is a topic that comes up with people. I'm not suggesting it's easy to do this. It seemed like it would be, but this I was really confused by the video actually, because we're talking about the Canvas 13 Gen 3, but the video is for this key dial. Okay? Were you the one that sent the video? Is that how I discovered it, Mir? Oh, I see. You a different video. Sorry, I misunderstood. So I was confused because this guy's talking about the key dial, not the Canvas 13 Gen 3. But as this guy explains, he's showing the problem with this dial, and he's going to show it in a second. So it works fine when it's spinning slowly, right? It's working totally fine. But when he spins it real quick, watch, it bounces back, okay? There, see it? So he spins it, and yeah, so there's some weirdness there. And he opened it up, and what he did is actually in the video. He takes these rotary dials and does something to them. So it's described in the video. I don't want to go over it. But if you're struggling with a similar problem, at least, check it out, or maybe save the link, because you might encounter somebody with the same problem. And he just twisted some of this metal up or down. I forgot which direction. And he seemed to have fixed the problem. Martin says, I hope Huion launches a 22 2.5. Yeah, I hope the same, Nizio, Martin. I think 22 is such a sweet spot. It's not too, it's big enough to be like, you feel like it's a large tablet, but it's not crazy big, right? It's not crazy big. When fans are dying, it can get ugly loud, same as computer chassis fans, but they're not hard to replace. So it's possible to replace the fans in the Cintiq Pro 22, or Cintiq Pro 24. I just saw the GS 1333 and now it feels like I just watched Gorevich. I understand. So I'm going to investigate this more, and I'm going to, let me do a follow-up, which is re-examine all the Gen 3, Huion Gen 3 wheel problem. Charlie Martian's here. 22-inch tablet, yes, he says. I thought 19 was the sweet spot. Maybe I'm just a small. It could be. It does depend on sort of like your overall body size. Yeah, so I think people should just be aware of this if you're having dial problems. But I'll see if this accounts for all the dial problems. Let's see. Sorry, Nick says, yes, you can find replacement parts for good old Cintiq Pro 24. Main risk is opening it and damaging some clip screen. Damaging clip/screen. Yeah, we don't want to damage the screen, that's for sure. Okay, since we have a good collection of people here, I did publish a video. I'm going to play the video, okay? And there's no music, so YouTube's not going to freak out at me. And because I made the video as well. So hang on. And let's get to the video. Oh, let me unmute that thing. And you probably know I have a lot of drawing. Oops, almost there. Okay. So I'll let it play and then we'll talk about it, okay? Okay, here we go. You probably know I have a lot of drawing tablets, so of course that means I have a lot of drawing tablet pens. This is my collection, and I'm going to show you what the pens are and how I organize them. If you're wondering about the total number, I think at last count I have about 137 pens. And most of them are what you see right now, though some are in other rooms or packed up in boxes. But this is very representative. At the top, we see my collection of Wacom pens. Notice that they're all on these red stands. So I print out with a 3D printer these stands. And notice that the pens also
have some tape on them. The tape matches the stand color. That is very deliberate, and I'll talk more about that in a second. So this is ACP 500. This is the Wacom Pro Pen 3. And the pen here, it says Wacom, it says the model number, ACP 500. And then it has this code here, WAP.0072. What that means, the WA means Wacom, P means pen, and the number is just a, I just number each pen that I have from that brand. So you can tell by this number, I have at least 72 Wacom pens total. So now why do you see tape on these pens? And that's to help me with a couple of problems. Number one, the red tape, if I see it, I know to put it in one of these red stands. The next thing it helps me with is you probably see a lot of these pens are black plastic, and they just cannot be seen sometimes, and it's hard to tell them apart. So having that tape helps me see them easier and tell them apart easier. I have, for example, my favorite Wacom pen, which is the KP504E, the Wacom Pro Pen 2. I still think this is the best drawing tablet pen on the market, honestly. And you can see here some older Wacom professional pens. Let's take a look at these. So I have ZP501E. These came with the Intuos 3. And remember that for a while Intuos was actually the name Wacom used for their professional pen tablets. And then we have the XP501E. These are for the Intuos 2 tablets. And the GP300E. These are for the Intuos 1 tablets. You can see they look like they have different colors. That's just aging of the plastic. Some of these really became yellow. Some of them look just brand new. And I've tried all these pens with the original tablets, and they do work. This is the Wacom Art Pen. So this is the latest Wacom pen that has barrel rotation. They discontinued it, I think, about a year ago. When I found out it was being discontinued, I bought one on eBay for $100-something, but I hear now it's really hard to find, almost impossible. And if you do find it, you're going to be spending about $500 for it. Moving down to Huion, and that's in the blue. It's a blue stand and blue tape. I have a whole bunch of PW600 series pens. And then in the purple, you see the XP Pen pens. And then I have a whole bunch of the XP Pen X3 Pro. And in the orange, we have SenseLabs. For these gray stands, I have Apple Pencil and Microsoft Surface. Now, I'll just say again, I don't like using the Microsoft Surface pens because when you're using them with the Microsoft Surface device, they just have way too much diagonal wobble. Apple Pencil, some people love them, some people hate them. It's a very polarizing pen. I can work okay with them, but I definitely prefer a normal drawing tablet pen compared to the Apple Pencil. Now what's left here, you see some are Wacom. You can tell that just by the color, and the other two are gray stands. What you're seeing here in this section are UD EMR pens, or Wacom Feel pens. What makes UD EMR pens special, especially, I think there are two generations. I believe this is the second generation. Basically, if a tablet works with one pen, they work with all the other pens that are UD EMR, also called Wacom Feel. So often in my streams, even though I'm using, let's say, a Wacom 1 tablet, you'll often see me using one of these Samsung S pens, or in fact, maybe one of these Stettler Norris pens or Asus pens. And thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. You probably know
Okay, that was it. Not too crazy, but yeah, I just wanted to show. Yes, Samir. In fact, I've used it many times on screen, though I don't often mention it. So, for example, I have this Asus ProArt monitor, okay, and it's not on right now. I can turn it on by plugging it back in. And this actually uses a UD EMR pen, and it's an Asus pen, but it works with this Samsung S pen or the Wacom 1 pens, right? So let me just show you this. You're seeing right now I can scroll these things, right? That's actually me touching the tablet with the S Pen, the Asus ProArt display. Now, the reason I use it is it works like a nice display. You don't need drivers for it. Doesn't work on Mac with the pen. But for whiteboarding, I use this. right? You like the Pro Pen 2? Yeah, GP300 does look very retro. Very retro. It's nice to see those pens. What does Mir say? It's like watching your child showcasing their color pencils. Let's see. Martin says something interesting. 19/18.4 is the 16-inch pen display from this generation, since we have smaller bezels. Oh, I see what you're saying. So the physical, I think what you're saying is the physical width hasn't changed, but it allows the screen to be bigger. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. So this is, that was my collection. So Cube was asking me a question about it. I actually have more, so I definitely have more pens than 137 because there's a number of them, as it turns out, especially older pens that are still in the box, right? So I believe the number is at least in the 140s, if not in the 150 pens, okay? This year, I feel like I will definitely be in the 150 if it's not there. Maybe in 160, right? Got it. So I understood you correctly, Martin? Okay. Thank you. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to send the link to that in the chat. Let me just make sure I found the right place.
You probably know I have a lot of drawing tablets, so...
Another change for my stream or my videos is I don't edit them quite as much anymore. I'm kind of okay with just seeing something more raw getting published. Okay, Mir, have fun in your class and thanks for joining as always. And hopefully the next time I talk to you, I'll have good news about CachyOS. Okay. So what else do we want to talk about? Someone, I think it was actually Mir, suggested I try Stylus X again because I think there's some updates. So let's go back there and take a look. Stylus X. Let's see. I am very sure I have the world's, well, sorry, I don't want to say such a strong statement. I'm very sure I have one of the largest, maybe the largest, drawing tablet collection in the world. 'Cause I have 107 tablets. That doesn't even include all my Samsung S Galaxy Tab S or iPads. Okay, so if you include those, I'm probably like 100, almost 115. I would bet you 115. But I don't normally include those, but now I'll start adding them up as well. I don't know, I've never heard of anyone having so many drawing tablets, that's for sure. I was, on Saturdays, someone who, I think she worked for Wacom actually, her channel name is The One With Bear, because she has like a teddy bear. And she streams for a couple of hours on Saturdays. And it's just very relaxed to hear her talk and her do her art. And she, like I said, I think she actually works for Wacom. She works, or at least she's involved in the events they go to, like SIGGRAPH, I guess, right? Among others. And so they have a Wacom booth there, okay? And in the booth, they have, meaning it's a table with some, things behind them, some graphics. But on those tables, they have sometimes a collection of older Wacom tablets, and what's the latest ones, right? Martin says the strongest tablet collector in his. Yeah, it may be. I'm pretty sure. So she showed a picture of what they had, and I was like, I was just saying like, oh yeah, that's the SD 510C. And the SD series is, the origin for all modern Wacom EMR tablets. And I kept on talking about them, and I brought up that I have a lot. So I showed her a picture of my tablets or that video that I made a few months ago, and she sent it off to someone in Wacom, her colleagues, just to see, how crazy that was. But what I'm trying to get at by bringing her up was that when I looked at her table, I started, what they had presented. I thought, wow, I bet you I do have a larger collection than they do. I bet you that is true. Because, it would be a little crazy for them to keep a tablet that's like 35 years old, right? Like, why would you do it? They do have some like that, of course, but I have filled out most of my collection. Like, I have a table of all the tablets in the SD series and above, which is like 1987 and above. And I have red lines on the ones I don't have, right? So I only have a couple of like red lines. Not a couple, let's say 5 or 6 red lines. So I have almost a full collection of Wacom professional drawing tablets, okay? Because that's, I don't care so much about the consumer stuff as much, but definitely want all the professional ones. There are a few I am missing, which are basically impossible to get. Like there's one which is, it's just very large. It's just very large. It's like an XL type or larger sized. You are having to start giving Wacom tech support. Maybe one day. Speaking of Wacom, I actually I emailed them yesterday and I sent them a suggestion. On the Wacom WCL channel, they do these live streams. I said they should start doing those live streams on the English language channel because I think people would show up, and they had so much interesting advice for people. Like, how do you pick a tablet? How do you pick it depending on the size of your monitor? Now, whether or not you agree with their advice, the thing is that it's good for people to see that there is some way of approaching these problems, okay? And they can choose to tweak the approach, but I like that someone has an approach, right? The only Cintiq Pro you have is the 27, right? No, I have the 27 and the 22, 27 and the 22, but no other Cintiq Pros. I had the Cintiq 16, Cintiq, not the Pro, Cintiq 22 HD, and I also have the Cintiq Pro 16 from 2021. So I have 3 Cintiq Pros. Yeah, so lots of tablets. Remember, I think in a few years, there's no reason for me to keep on collecting forever, right? Because I've almost collected every Wacom tablet, right? And pretty soon, like, every tablet will be good, right? There's almost no need for, I don't know what we're gonna do when all tablets are good, right? You'll still have to have people reviewing them because they're gonna add new features, but I'm really curious what those features are gonna be, right? Is there an easy trick, Charlie asked, to get rid of the stickiness of the soft plastic portions of the stylus? My Intuos pen is getting a bit creepy. Can you remind me which tablet model number and pen you have? If you say the tablet number, I'll know. But I think I know but it'll help if you tell me the exact number. Okay, I'm gonna see what Mir wanted me to take a look at. This is Stylus X. Do they have a blog somewhere? Our mission, support. Okay, let me just go to the store. And see if I can either install it or do something with it, okay? Stylus X, Stylus X. 651, okay, that's the grip pen that it comes with, I believe. I don't know if there's anything to do that can fix it, except get if they are existing and you can buy one, a grip that goes over it, right? Because I think I remember that pen, or at least maybe I do. Some of these Wacom pens, just my memory, had very soft plastic, right? But yeah, I think you're gonna find a grip. Let's see, Stylus X. I'm trying it on a much smaller screen now, so maybe it'll not be as weird for me to do. Let's see. I'm ready. Yeah, okay. Let me, give me a second. I'm gonna have to mirror my screen so I can draw at the same time. Who knows, maybe we'll just draw for a while. What do I need to do? Oh, I need the desktop. And I gotta mirror some screens. I wanna mirror 1 and 3. So extend 3, 2, 1. Keep changes. Okay, there we go. And now, yeah, I can see. So now you can't see exactly what I'm drawing, but okay, we'll try it out. Let's create. Where do I just want to make sure I got the right version number. Not this. Maybe under advanced. I keep on forgetting how advanced this app actually is. I keep thinking it's supposed to be like a really drawing assist. Maybe I should go back, yeah. About Stylus X. 1.2. Okay, so this is the latest version. It is the latest version. I gotta just learn this app though. It's not something I'm actually very used to. It works very well with this Asus monitor, by the way, and this S Pen that I'm using it with. Okay, I'm not seeing an actual list of new features, and that's what I wanted to try out by trying this. Is there any indication what the new features are? Actually, you know what? I'll close this. Let's just check on Twitter then. Let's go there and take a look. Oops, I clicked on Krita. Let's check on Twitter and see, or something on their site here. Dissipating rubber, it can't be saved, but you can order custom grip and use it as new skin on top. Okay, that was Nick. Yeah, that, I think once that rubber goes, there's very little you can do. Like, I don't know if it's ever been fixable. I've had a couple of pens that felt nasty, you know what I'm talking about? Just did not feel good. I don't know what it is about the material that breaks up that way, that makes it feel so bad. Okay, if I go back here. Maybe if I just type in Stylus X and blog, I will get a hit. Let me move this tablet out of the way. Let's try that. Stylus X and blog. Is my recommendation for pen tablets up to date? I may have to get a new one, and my neck would love to work on a pen tablet instead of a pen display, or one that can switch to on the fly. You know what? Let's take a look at the recommendations while you're here. Let me just go get some water, and I'll be right back. Okay? Okay, I am back with my water and my secret elixir, sugar-free Red Bull. So we're gonna check on my recommendations. Let's use this as an opportunity to revise the tier list, because I did get some feedback from people on it. Laws Brett Art, thanks for joining us. Good morning, good morning. Tier list was I got lots of feedback. Good feedback. Lots of questions as well. Why didn't I list this tablet? Why is this not in this level? And it'll be a good test to let's get back to, let me close some of these things actually. And this is going to relate to your thing, Charlie, because I think there's some tablets I just didn't include that we do need to talk about. How the heck do I close this thing? I don't even know how that works. Okay, I'm going to have to shut it down from the task manager. Okay, there we go. No, I don't want to save it. Okay. Let's get back to Google AI Studio. I do everything from AI Studio now. Let's see. Let me refresh this list because I think it is out of date. Sure I had more here. Okay, it must be 14. Okay. This is my tier list explorer. So I just want this ready for when we look at things. And let's go to my recommendation. So Charlie's talking about pen tablets. So we got to rationalize this. Something to draw for. And Charlie, you're using a PTH 6. Okay, medium-sized one. Okay, great. Let's go to the. I want the recommendations. Where is this thing? We'll just go ahead and get ready to edit mode. Let's find the recommendations. It's under buying a drawing tablet somewhere. Oh, it is. Oh, it's under recommendations. My mistake. Okay, pen tablet. So actually, if I go to recommendations, I'll see. Oh, you can't see what I'm seeing because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, there we go. So this is my set of recommendations, and I have them for pen tablets, pen displays, and standalone. So let's just go to the medium because that's what Charlie's looking at, and see what I have there. Okay. And let's rationalize this list with the tiers, okay? So I'm going to, with Google AI Studio, let me, I'm trying to, whoa, okay. Let's see if full screen does what I need. Okay, that's good. And let me get to the tiers. 1 second, where's my mouse? I have to load a file. So we're going to rationalize these two and answer Charlie's question to make sure everything makes sense. Give me a second. I just got to find these files. These are from blogs, tier list, and then, yeah, I get it. Okay. I hate that it keeps on asking this thing. Delete for everyone, thank you. Okay, let me just get the JSON things here. And then we're almost in business. Okay, so let me load in the pen tablets. There we go, okay? So this is just an updated version of the tier list builder that I had with more features. like now I can tag things. So, Charlie, do you have a budget in mind? Let's see. My top picks with the Intuos Pro, medium, PTK 670 and 680. And I think these are still there, right? I'm going to, because it'll confuse people if I mention the older Intuos Pro models, since they're out of date, I'm going to go ahead and remove the older ones from the tier. Because again, I think it's going to confuse people in 2025 for me to show one of these older tablets, okay? So, can I actually delete a tier? You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I can actually create a tag for myself called, let's see. Will this do the thing I think it does? So delete, okay? So I'll make this background black and save settings. Now, so I'll assign this, I didn't do that correctly. Dell? Oh, I know why. Save settings, okay. Dell. Okay, so when you see Dell, it just means don't consider it, ignore it, okay? For 2025, it'll just confuse people to have these there. And I'm gonna save this as is. Okay. So in the A, and obviously these two would work well for you, Charlie, the Intuos Pro Medium. It's a straight upgrade from what you have, right? I do think you'd be safer getting the Intuos Pro 2025. But we have the bezel issue to be aware of. And let me actually note that for people that people do not like the smaller bezels. Bezels also have a sharper edge, have a slightly sharper edge. That some people find irritating or painful. So that is an unfortunate reality. Let's save that. Okay. Okay, so they are there. Should the one by Wacom really go into top picks or not? I'm thinking it really should not go into top picks. If I want to be consistent with the rankings, I should probably just say, hey, it's good, right? I think that's probably, I should do that. Otherwise, people will be like, oh, they're all just, excellent in the same way, which is not true. Oops, there's comments here. 22 Huion, got it. We'll look at Huion one specifically, Charlie. I think I'm going to a pen tablet or a pen display that has a pen tablet mode. Okay, sorry, I didn't see the, so I'm gonna move these as excellent. I'm going to put the Wacom one as good and very good, because we've got to rationalize these lists, otherwise they get really confusing. Frago M and Deco Pro I put in the very good, okay? I think that's fair. The only thing you have to adjust for, Charlie, if you're going to go with a Huion is, remember, like, you're using, you're basically, except for the Pro Pen 2, you're currently using the best pen on the market, right? So if you're depending on very low IAF, you got to keep that in mind. Okay. I said Frago M wasn't very good, so let's do that. Let's control plane. I'll put it atop here. Okay. And actually, why don't I have the Deco Pro XLW here? Because it should be there. Let me just go ahead and add it. It's weird that I don't. So XP Pen Deco Pro XLW. That's the one I have actually, and I have the MW personally. Okay, so I'll figure out the links there later. But that is a large tablet. That's a very large tablet. Is a pen display that easily switch over to a pen tablet. Interesting, Nick. I'm gonna share Nick's comment. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know if I know personally anyone who's using it. I don't know if anyone from the Discord uses it. Okay, so in the B tier, which is good, I probably need to just change how how I'm writing these, because I think top picks and this, it's not helping people, right? Let's see. Deco, MW, all that stuff. That's in the what? It's in the... It's actually in the good category. It's actually in the good category. So let's keep it there. Okay. Giano G930L. That's a large one. So that's... Oh, I know why that's the XLW. This is a medium-sized tab list. That's why it didn't appear. So that explains my little mystery. I totally forgot I was looking at just the medium tablets. I do need to find a way to let people parse these lists, because it's multi-dimensional, right? You want to look at my rating versus cost versus size. And this is where I think maybe I need to think about how this would work. In other words, I'm not saying I should use the tier list, but some kind of way of positioning this so you can see it in different dimensions. Size, type, pen, performance, that low IAF, that kind of thing. So I'm going to think about that. Let me write that down. That's actually an interesting idea. Where are my show notes? Follow up. A recommendation app. Sort by type, size, cost, low IAF, wide maximum pressure. Yeah, I think I have an idea how to do this now. Okay, we'll see. Giano G930, that's a large one. Inspiroi 2, is that in here? That's in the good range. Okay, I didn't list it, so Inspiroi 2, Huion Inspiroi 2. Huion, I am still waiting for them to introduce the PW600 pens. Inspiroi 2. Which one size do they have? It's the S and... Oh yeah, would be the medium size, of course. Okay. One by Wacom is in the good category. Yep. And then the Intuos small, those are in this, yeah. Instead of talking about price here, I'm gonna just go ahead and leave this here without this overprice. It's complicating the story, you see. And then I'd say, okay, as the Frago S is small. And instead of making this, I'll just keep this in the category of other. And meaning I wouldn't normally pick them. Okay, so now because you've used the Intuos, then I would still steer you toward this. But if you're happy with the pen you have, the challenge here is that Huion has not released a better pen for their pen tablets. And I think if you're going to go with a Huion, you should wait for that, honestly. Because I think that is going to make a difference. You're satisfied with the pen you have now with your Huion tablet, Charlie Martian? That's the PW550? Got it. It's awesome just thinking about ergonomics and health. Makes sense. Then consider the Huion Inspiroi 2 Medium. Honestly. I think it's compatible with the same PW550 pen. Instead of top picks, I'm going to call this my picks. Or should I just not do that? How about this? I will actually just say, I'll use the headings. Excellent. And these will match my tier lists, actually. Oops. I want excellent, good. Oh, very good to another category. It's a little bit simpler to parse, right? And it matches the tier list. Did I have any anti-recommendations at medium size? I did, actually, didn't I? I said, oh man, I feel bad for this one. Yeah, I think it's compatible with the same PW550 pen that you use. So check that out. I do think you'll need to use the pressure curve because it gets a little overreactive at low pressure. But that's easily controllable with the pressure curve. I would say good, and I would say avoid. Avoid. There, now it's consistent with my tier list, actually. Let me merge this, because it's actually the changes are there. And now, let me do the same change to large. So top, I'll call these excellent. The DecoPro XLW, where did I put that again? I put that in the A tier, which is very good. I'm glad you asked this because I had totally forgot that these recommendations in my tier list are not rationalized. Where did I put the Giano? I put it in good, yeah. If it had the PW600 pen, I'd easily put it in very good. potentially excellent. Did I have any other things to avoid? Good. For the large, Inspur A2L should be in. Which one? In the good, Inspur A2L. Oops, sorry. I don't know why it's red. 2L. I'll fix that in a second. I wouldn't want people getting the wrong idea because the text is in red. Let's see. I'll click that off. Okay. And later on I'll get the information. There are no other large tablets to talk about, so we're good there. $67 versus an Intuos Pro Medium. Yeah, it's Wacom's tablet. Their Pro tablets are expensive. There is no doubt about that. Even the pens are expensive. Look, the new Intuos Pro's pen is twice the cost of that entire tablet. $67. It's $130. It costs more than a lot of tablets, which I think is shocking. Let's fix this one up too. Excellent. And then we want, where's one by Wacom? Oh, Deco Pro. Excellent. Very good. Good. Yeah, I gotta find a different way of doing this because writing it down doesn't capture the different dimensions that you'd look at this by. One by Wacom is where it's in the good category, so that's correct. Frago S is also, I believe, in the actually the very good category. I might have to reconsider that since it does not have tilt. So that's it. So I should mention it here if this is going to mention it. You're talking about for the pen tablets, it's just because they don't have the PW600 pen. That's what's keeping it out of that excellent. The pen they have is very good, but it's still not as good as the PW600. I mean, remember, I'm also considering the fact that they come with the PW517 pen, like the Giano, for example. Deco. This should be in good for sure. Oh, sorry. Where's one by Wacom? One by Wacom is there. Yeah, this is actually a correct list. Good, and I would say avoid. There we go. So we've rationalized the pen tablets. That's a fair point, Charlie. You've been using a pen for 5+ years. Oh, sorry, it's Nick. We don't know, right? I mean, I can say that my experience with the pens I've had from Huion XP Pen has been pretty good, right? But I've only owned Huion since 2021 or 2020. I think 21 actually, and then XP Pen from 2022. So I don't know what's going to happen, right? I've taken a look at the insides of some of their pens. That nothing about them seems especially prone to like breaking, more than any other, pen. But we'll see. I just don't know. Okay, so we've rationalized it. That's good. Okay, I think the other. Okay, so let me save this. Let me save this. Yeah, I'm gonna find a way to like help this tool be my recommender, and I think it's possible. Probably this tool, honestly, could spit out the recommendations so that when I want to create this list, I would go in here and edit this, and like I just get the list. Or I could point people at this tool online and have it just show them what, you know, how it's they can interact with it directly. I got to figure that out. That could be an interesting thing to do. Okay. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that. Let me take a look at anything else I want, if I missed it, to talk to you about. We talked about that. Let me fix up the pen displays as well while I'm looking at this. Small pen tablets, pen displays. Yeah, this gonna need some help. Where are the pen displays? Okay. Excellent. Very good. Good. Okay. So moving 13 isn't good. That's correct. The Cintiq, what is that? Cintiq 16? None of those are small, so they shouldn't be here. I think that the moving, for the small ones, the moving is the only one that's an excellent. So just for now, let's move everything else to very good, and then we'll sort these out. And then Canvas 13 Gen 3 isn't very good. That makes sense. Artist Pro. I'll need small ones here. So that's the only one in very good, actually. I'm willing to say that the Artist 12 Gen 3 is actually also in very good. Where did I put that here? I put that in good. Okay, so maybe I'll just leave it there since I don't want to second guess myself in the middle of this stream. Artist Pro should be in very good, actually. And then in good, we should have, yeah, these are in good. Decent. I think that's the right word for these. Decent. Wacom 114. Okay, this was the change I wanted to do. I thought about this a lot. I went through a lot of like, am I being fair to some of these tablets? So let me just explain what I want to change. I'm going to say that the Wacom 1, 13, and 12, I don't think they have that pressure banding problem. So I think that they should be moved up to the C category with the Wacom 114. Okay. And the same is actually true with this Wacom 113. It's not really a bad tablet. It doesn't pretend to be a great tablet. It is what it is, right? The screen is washed out. So I think it's fair that this, let me make the color red here. Okay, I can't change the color. Let's see if I can do it this way. Okay, I'll figure that part out later, but I'm gonna put those all in the same bucket, actually. So Wacom 1, which is the decent bucket. It's the decent bucket. Okay? And I think these actually are not as bad as I thought. So I'm going to put them also there. You might not even notice the problem. I'll double check on these. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave these out for a second. And call these... I'm going to just put these into a void for right now because it's consistent with the list. Before I move them, let me do the double check, right? And confirm the issues. So I'll move these here, okay? And so I'll just have to check them. So let me write that as a follow-up. Follow-up. Double check on these. Wacom 113 touch and 12 for pressure problems. I think they're probably okay. And that, yeah, I think that is actually okay. And let me merge that. And then we'll take a look at, yeah, these are a little bit harder to say because like it's by different types. So I'll probably want to do that another time. But I think this is reasonable. I think we made a good, while I'm at it, I'm going to make a few changes here to make this more, save this. Did I really lose the color on these things? Oh, I did do it right. Okay, hang on. Edit card, style. Yeah, I knew I had the color somewhere. Okay, that's correct. I'm going to edit the tags so Wacom has, or the categories, that Wacom has a color, which I'm going to pick dark red. Save settings. I didn't save it. Okay, great. Yeah, this is actually starting to look good. I made a lot of UI updates, if that makes sense. Save settings. Huion is there. XP Pen is purple. Where is dark purple? Maybe this is better. Okay, there, that's looking good. And Sense Labs. I have to get them as well. Sense Labs is... I'm gonna pick this color. Yeah, it all kind of fits correctly now. It all fits correctly. Let's save that. Charlie Martian says, I think the next step for display tablets is going to be touch interface and get rid of needing a keyboard. Well, let's think about this. First of all, yeah, I 100% think it's going to have to be touch. And part of that is driven by the fact that more and more people are using iPads. So and you can see this, and people mention it on the Discord often, that they're using their touchless pen display and they start doing this business with it, shrinking, whatever, forgetting that it does not support touch. So people's brains are coming to expect it. That's some evidence. The second thing is it is an opportunity for these companies to do something and add value that they didn't have before, right? And you raise a really interesting thing, which is as people who are using our apps, the keyboard has to be in our way. Now, my solution to that is they should have, or people should use a toolbox type device, right? But the more I have used the MoveInk 13, the more I'm thinking a really nice menu system, an on-screen menu system on your tablet would be a really awesome thing, right? Like you're drawing and then you press something to change the eraser, right? And I think that would actually be a way that could add value, right? Another way with, another reason we have to resort to the keyboard is saving a file. You have to put the file name, right? Or click OK, cancel, that kind of thing. So yeah, an on-screen display, as you point out, with some haptic response, some haptic feedback might be just the way we can have these devices be more interesting for us, right? That would be really interesting, wouldn't it be? If you pressed on the tablet and it actually clicked, right? That would be very interesting. And even, as I'm looking at this app, this tier list builder, I wanted to at times see if I could run it from my iPad, and with my hand, I just made it scroll with my hand. But if I could, can I drag things? Yeah, I'm actually dragging that with my thumb, by the way. That's not the mouse, right? So again, there's other ways of interacting with these things, which feels pretty intuitive now that we're all used to iPads. And I'm hoping that is what's going to happen. I think we'll at least see touch in many more pen displays. I think that is going to happen. It would also, give companies like Huion and XP Pen a way to differentiate themselves from Wacom, right? Because Wacom tends to move pen displays with touch. That's their pro displays. Their non-pro displays tend not to have any touch. The one exception, of course, recently is the Cintiq 24 Touch released this year, which obviously does have touch. And let me add I'm gonna have to add another feature, which is import tags, colors, etc. from another file. Okay. Anything else? And then brush away floating interfaces with translucent effects and draw through. Let me see if I can understand what you're saying. And then to brush away floating interfaces with translucent effects to draw through the interface. Where could you maybe give me an example of how you'd see that? Like an example of what tool would benefit from that? That'd probably help me. I can think of some actually, but if you think of something concrete, it would be really good to know. Okay, where's my mouse here? Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at the mouse somewhere. Save JSON. I'm liking the way the tier list has come out. It's helping me quite a bit. And let me edit the other tier list, which is downloads. This was pen tablets, right? 933. Okay. Let's fix some of these up too. Edit tier. I'll make this the question mark tier. Imagine if you had a keyboard, for example, that when you're done using it, you could just brush it away. Yeah, that's right. They're not really like that, are they? You have to like click on X to close. At least on Microsoft, I think that's true. Let's edit these categories. Wacom is dark red. Update. Huion is, I think it was this color. Update. And XP Pen was, I think, this color. Update. Save settings. There we go. And then let's download that. Great. Interactive. So I remember this was at work, and we were talking about making things getting complex, okay? And someone said, you know, hey Joe, or whatever, you know, this design you have, it's just complexifying things. You know, it's just, and then someone responded like, it's kind of ironic because that someone replied saying, you mean you're complicating it? Right? Sometimes we sort of just go in a certain direction on a word and invent new ones. There's intractable, which is different, but not interactable. It's just interactive. Actually, let me not say that I know that for sure. Interactable. Is that really a word though? Interactable. There's a post. It isn't common usage. Well, I stand corrected then. This is 4 years ago. As others have pointed out, it is a word in common usage, but not a formal dictionary word. We have the word interact. Okay, I take it back. Look, I come from a kind of a linguistics background a little bit. And I think the one thing, if you've ever studied linguistics in this way, is you end up being, huzzah, Charlie Martin says. You can be as a person, you could be a descriptivist or a prescriptivist. A prescriptivist is someone who says, this is the way to do it. This is the right way, that's the wrong way. But a descriptivist are people who are simply describing what people actually do. Eureka Screw says neologism. How do you say neologism? Neologism or neologism? Neologism. Creating new words. So in linguistics, people they say, well, look, we're descriptivists, right? We're not going to tell people how to speak. Our job is to learn how they speak and understand how they speak and how they use words. And ever since I had that little experiment with linguistics, I really like seeing how different people communicate and different words they invent, right? Slang, love learning slang. Okay, and this person's looking for a good entry-level tablet. So I'm going to tell this person, I have suggestions for you, sir. Let me just make sure I've gotten, yeah, okay. Let us tell them where they can get suggestions. Because now we've addressed the list, right? See this. Both are probably going to be fine for you. Though generally, whoops, I accidentally clicked on something. And I'm going to suggest they join the Discord, actually. Discord. Fine. Consider joining the Drawing Tablet Discord if you need more help. I'll just take a quick look at the full text here. Let's see. Okay, friends, I think I am going to call it a night. We got through our major topics. The key thing is I think we got a chance to revise the recommendations and the tiers. And I'm going to work on seeing if there's I can give another way of exploring the recommendations, right? Some kind of tool so you can say I want a small, like it's this size, this budget, what are my options, right? And that will steer people to pick tablets with good pens, right? Because that's the thing, most recommendations don't actually call that out, that the pens matter. So you need to know how important a pen is, because it's not just the tablet, it's the pen, right? Okay, everyone, Eureka Scrooge, Harley, whoever else is there, thanks so much for your support as always and for your engagement in the stream. And this marks 1 year of me streaming on YouTube, talking about drawing tablets and digital art, and looking forward to doing even more in 2026. And I will be having a stream sometime in December. We're going to do an end of year wrap up, and just a year in review. And then we're going to do a what is it called? The Drawing Tablet Awards. The Drawing Tablet Awards. Okay. So everyone, thanks again. Have a great night. Bye-bye, Laz Brett.